Hi, my name is Keely, and I'm a Senior Project Manager on the Program Administrator team at Energy Solutions. This recording will walk through the REC Performance Evaluation calculation methodology. Quick agenda. First, I'll give a brief introduction to the process. Then we'll go through an actual calculation walkthrough. We'll discuss how RECs to use in subsequent years are determined. And then lastly, I'll go through some reminders. All right, moving into the introduction. In July, approved vendors review REC delivery quantities for all systems during the annual report process. The program administrator will complete the REC performance evaluation using final cured annual report data. Just a reminder that the annual report data must be cured by October of each year. Once the data is cured and considered finalized, the program administrator uses that final REC data and performs the REC performance evaluation. This is also sometimes referred to or thought of as a 3-year rolling average. We report those final results to the utilities by November 15th. Calculations are performed on a portfolio level basis, so per contract ID, for all systems in a contract across all batches and product orders. If there are multiple contracts, an approved vendor will receive multiple evaluations. The evaluation compares a 3-year average of REC deliveries to the expected REC delivery for the most recent delivery year. This results in, for each system, either a surplus, which is where the average delivery exceeds the expected delivery, or a deficit, where the average is lower than the expected delivery. A system could also exactly meet its obligation. Next, we'll move into a calculation walkthrough. The first step is to identify the eligible systems. A system is considered eligible once there have been 3 full delivery years since the start of the delivery term. For 2023, this will include all systems where the delivery term started on or before June 1st, 2020. The delivery term starts on the first day of the month following the date of first REC delivery. So for example, if a first REC was delivered on May 13th, 2020, the delivery term would start on June 1st, 2020, and same for any date throughout the month of May. And just a reminder, first REC delivery must be after the trade date to count. Next, we're moving into the actual calculation methodology, and I'm going to be showing screenshots from the actual output reports from the evaluation. So these are the reports that we actually provided to the utility. Step 2 is to identify 3 full years worth of REC delivery. And this comes from the tracking registry. So these are the deliveries from GATS or MRETs. For 2023, this data was reviewed during the 2023 annual report and cured by October 13th, 2023. And remember, a delivery year is from June 1st through May 31st. Step 3 is to calculate the delivery year REC performance. So this is where we establish the actual baseline that will be compared to what was expected. This is also that 3-year average that we talk about. So it's just the average of the last 3 delivery years rounded down. For example, application 1, the REC performance is considered 22 RECs, which is really just the average of 26, 27, and 14 rounded down. Step 4, we need to look at some Schedule B details and pull those into the calculations. So one thing we need is the contract price. That's pretty straightforward. It's just listed on the Schedule B. The other thing that we need is the delivery year expected REC quantity. This is the REC quantity from the delivery schedule from the most recently ended delivery year. So for 2023, this will be the RECs associated with the 2022 to 2023 delivery schedule, or I'm sorry, delivery year on the delivery schedule. So in this example contract, from, this is just pulled from the contract posted on the website. This system would use 1467 as its expected rec quantity for this year. Next year, it would use 1459 and so on. Step 5 is to compare the expected rec quantity to the rec performance. So this helps us determine if a system has a surplus or shortfall. The formula for this is just that 3-year average minus the expected rec quantity. So you can see again in example application 1, we have a shortfall of 7 recs, which is just 22 minus 29. Step 6 is to start applying any surplus recs to systems with a shortfall. So if one system overperforms, it generates surplus recs that can cover shortfalls for other systems in a portfolio. You can kind of think of it as like a bank of surplus recs building up that then gets used to cover all the shortfalls. The surplus bank includes the current year rec surplus, as well as any surplus that was generated in a previous year and not used. Surplus recs are applied by contract price lowest to highest and can only be applied to systems within the same contract. They can be applied across any batch within a contract. So in this example, so we would first want to sort contract price low to high. So you can see we're starting off at $35.28 and building up to $56.99. And then from there, you basically pull surplus recs out of the bank and apply them to each system one at a time until the system is considered fully delivered. And you do that over and over until you run out of recs, surplus recs. So for this first system, it had a shortfall of 7. So we take 7 from our bank and apply it to that system. We do 5 to cover this one's shortfall of 5, and so on until you run out. So you can see here on application ID number 7, there were not enough surplus recs to fully cover this system's shortfall of 19. So this one was partially covered. And then all the remaining systems in the contract, this is where we kind of run out, so they don't get any surplus recs applied. You can see some of these systems, like these two here, did generate a surplus. So these 2 and 5 recs are represented in this bank here. And then anybody down here that didn't have any surplus recs allocated, if they still have a shortfall, would have a drawdown payment, which is the next step, is to calculate the drawdown for each system. That drawdown amount per system is, whatever shortfall rec quantity remains times its contract price. There will be no drawdown if a system delivered exactly what it needed to, delivered surplus, or had a shortfall that was completely covered by surplus recs. There will be a drawdown if a system had a shortfall that was not entirely covered by surplus recs. Step 8 is to calculate the drawdown for the entire contract. So we basically just add together all of the drawdowns to determine that final amount. So stepping back for just a moment, the sum of this drawdown payments column is essentially just the total drawdown. Drawdowns of under $5,000 are deferred until at least $5,000 is reached. All right, moving on to the concept of recs to use in subsequent years. When a system underperforms, the underperforming system will either be subject to a drawdown payment or use surplus recs to cover the underperformance. After one of those actions is taken, the system is considered fully delivered for that evaluation year. Therefore, not to penalize the underdelivered system in future calculations, the rec values for the subsequent evaluation will be set equal to the current year's delivery expected rec quantity. So looking at an example, this test system 9999, in its first evaluation, actually delivered 6, 0, and 0 RECs for delivery years 1, 2, and 3. This averaged 2, and its expected was 5, so it has a deficit of 3 RECs. Fast forward a year to its second evaluation, we actually take this 5 expected, so that's from the delivery schedule, and plug it in for what we use for delivery year 2 and 3. So you can see this 0 has now been replaced by a 5, and this 0 is replaced by a 5. All right, finally moving into some reminders. RECs are counted for a certain delivery year based on the transfer completion date, not the date that the REC was generated. So if a REC has a transfer completion date between June 1st, 2022 and May 31st, 2023, it would count for the 22 to 23 delivery year. For this year's REC performance evaluation, commencing in fall 2023, after the close of the 2023 annual report, RECs delivered in the following 3 delivery years will be used. So again, the delivery years June 1st through May. So we will do June 1st, 2020 through May 31st, 2021, June 1st, 2021 through May 31st, 2022, June 1st, 2022 through May 31st, 2023. A question we get a lot is about that first partial delivery year. And those actually don't get looked at in this evaluation since we wait for there to be 3 full delivery years. If at the end of the evaluation, a system has surplus RECs that were not used, they carry forward to the next year. All right, thank you so much. That wraps up this overview of the REC performance evaluation calculations.